Hello everyone! Today we are going to talk about solving one-step equations. Before we get into solving equations, one important thing to note is, when solving equations, we must isolate the variable. In order to do this, you will need to know the opposites of the four operations. The opposite of addition is subtraction, and the opposite of multiplication is division. Because this works both ways, the opposite of subtraction is addition, and the opposite of division is multiplication. For our first equation, we have x plus 5 equals 10. To solve this equation and find out what x is, we must isolate it. Here, x has a value being added to it. The opposite of addition is subtraction. So, to isolate the x, we must subtract the 5. However, one thing to note when solving equations is, what we do on one side of the equal sign, we must do on the other. This means we have to subtract 5 from both sides. Doing so leaves us with the equation x plus 5 minus 5 equals 10 minus 5. Now, all we have to do is simplify both sides of the equation by combining like terms, and we will be left with our answer. For the left-hand side, the 5's cancel each other out because 5 minus 5 equals 0. On the right-hand side, 10 minus 5 equals 5. So, our answer is x equals 5. Now, to make sure our answer is correct, we can plug in our answer, 5, into the original equation in place of x to see if the right-hand side and the left-hand side truly equal each other. Doing so, we get 5 plus 5 equals 10. Because 5 plus 5 is in fact equal to 10, our answer is correct. Here we have x minus 3 equals 15. This is similar to the last equation, but instead of adding a value to x, we are subtracting a value from x. To get x alone, we must remove the minus 3 from the left-hand side of the equation. The opposite of subtraction is addition. So, to remove the minus 3, we must add a 3. Remember, we need to do this to both sides of the equation. Doing so leaves us with the equation x minus 3 plus 3 equals 15 plus 3. Minus 3 plus 3 equals 0. So, the 3's on the left-hand side of the equal sign cancel each other out. On the right-hand side, we have 15 plus 3, which equals 18. So, our answer is x equals 18. Now, we can double check our answer by replacing x with 18 in the original equation. Doing so gives us 18 minus 3 equals 15. 18 minus 3 is in fact equal to 15, so our answer is correct. For our third equation, we have 3x equals 9. Here, x is being multiplied by 3. The opposite of multiplication is division. So, to get x alone, we must divide by 3 on both sides. On the left-hand side, we now have 3x divided by 3. Looking only at the numbers, we have 3 divided by 3, which is equal to 1. So, all that is left on the left-hand side is 1x, or plain old x. On the right-hand side, we now have 9 divided by 3, which is equal to 3. So, the answer is x equals 3. To make sure our answer is correct, we can do a quick check. 3 times 3 is in fact equal to 9, so our answer checks out. Next up, we have x divided by 4 equals 3. Here, our variable x is being divided by 4. The opposite of division is multiplication. So, to get x alone on the left-hand side, we will multiply both sides by 4. Doing so gives us the equation 4 times x, or 4x, over 4 equals 3 times 4. Looking only at the numbers on the left-hand side, we have 4 divided by 4, which is 1. Therefore, all that remains on the left-hand side is 1x, or x. On the right-hand side, we have 3 times 4, which is equal to 12. So, our answer is x equals 12. When we plug 12 into our original equation, we get 12 divided by 4 equals 3. And because 12 divided by 4 is in fact equal to 3, our answer is correct. Lastly, we have 4 examples that are very similar to the 4 that we just worked together. The first example is negative 7x equals 21. The second example is x over 9 equals 5. The third example is x minus 4 equals 3. And the fourth example is x plus 10 equals 5. Now, while these 4 equations are very similar to the 4 we already worked, there is one thing to note. 2 of the equations have a negative value for x. With that in mind, take your time, pause the video if needed, and try to solve these equations on your own. Hopefully you have solved all 4 equations. Before we show the answers, let's reveal the 2 that have a negative answer. The 2 that have a negative answer are example 1 and example 4. Now, without any further ado, let's reveal the answers. For example 1, as you can see, the answer is x equals negative 3. This comes from dividing both sides of the equation by negative 7. For the left-hand side, negative 7x divided by negative 7 is equal to 1x, or just x. On the right-hand side, 21 divided by negative 7 is equal to negative 3. For example 2, the answer is x equals 45. This comes from multiplying both sides of the equation by 9. On the left-hand side, 9 times x, or 9x, divided by 9 is x. On the right-hand side, 9 times 5 is 45. For the third example, the answer is x equals 7. This comes from adding 4 to both sides of the equation. On the left-hand side, we get x because a negative 4 and a positive 4 cancel each other out because negative 4 plus 4 is equal to 0. On the right-hand side, we have 3 plus 4 equals 7. For the last example, the answer is x equals negative 5. This comes from subtracting 10 from both sides of the equation. On the left-hand side, we get 10 minus 10, which is equal to 0. So we are left with x. On the right-hand side, we get 5 minus 10, which is equal to negative 5. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching and best of luck on your math endeavors. Please leave a comment down below on what you would like to see next. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more helpful tutorials.